3 o'clock in the morning, June the 6th, 1944. On a bluff above the Normandy coast, Major Werner Pluskat has not slept. Night after night he has watched this same black water. Tonight, the dark feels wrong. Below and behind him wait his 12 field howitzers, ranged on the sand, 105 millimeters apiece. Their orders are simple: stop whatever comes at the waterline. Fail here and nothing stands between the sea and Paris. The field telephone rings. Regiment again. The same question, the same answer. Nothing but fog and the sound of his own breathing. Empty, as it has been every night for 2 years. But tonight he does not go back to his bunk. Something in the air has changed, and he cannot name it. So he waits, and he listens. Low tide bears the beach below him. Steel hedgehogs, ramps of iron, stakes tipped with mines. 4 years of work, waiting for a single morning. His gun crews doze at their pieces, shells stacked and ready. Every round counted, every angle set weeks ago. Everything a soldier can prepare, he has prepared. And still, the waiting eats at him. No engines, no guns, only the tide, breathing in and out. It is the quietest night he can remember. Too quiet, as if the sea were holding its breath. And then, far off, the sea exhales. A sound, low and vast, rolling in off the water. Engines. Not one, not 10, hundreds. He is at the slit before he knows he has moved. To the north, the sky tears open in light. Bombers, wave after wave, grinding overhead toward the coast. The ground shivers before the first bomb even lands. His crews throw off their coats and run to the guns. He calls regiment.
Command, feindliche Bomber griffen an!
The line is a wall of noise. This is no raid. Raids do not fill the whole sky. And to the east, the black is turning gray. Dawn is coming. He turns to the sea to meet it. A thin gray light, no sun behind it. He leans into the scope and turns it slowly across the horizon. Fog. Gray water. Fog. And then the fog thins, and the shapes are already there. He pulls back from the eyepiece. He looks again. 10 ships. 100. Then he stops counting. The whole horizon has turned to iron. Warships and cruisers, craft beyond number. His hands will not hold the scope still. His hand finds the telephone.
Die Invasion hat begonnen. Die ganze See ist voller Schiffe. 1000! Es sind Tausende!
Before the line goes dead, the horizon lights up. 14-inch guns. The sound comes a heartbeat after the light. Shells the size of men come screaming in, faster than their own sound. The bluff erupts around him. Earth, steel, shattered concrete. Dust fills the bunker. The walls jump with every strike. He presses into the concrete and waits to be buried. His 12 howitzers answer, flinging shells at the fleet. Somewhere out there, a landing craft vanishes in orange flame. He fires once. The sea fires back 50 times. He cannot win this. He has known that for an hour, and the boats are already closer. 6:30. The first wave touches the sand. Ramps drop. Men drop into the freezing surf chest deep. The swimming tanks never arrive. Most sink with their crews. From the bluffs, the machine guns open up. That tearing, buzzsaw howl, 20 rounds a second, scours the waterline. The first wave breaks apart and claws for cover that is not there. Burn one boat, and 10 rise from the smoke behind it. He watches them die by the 100, and he watches them keep coming. His guns tear holes in the sand. The holes fill with more men. The tide line chokes with wreckage. It should be hopeless. It looks hopeless. It is not stopping. And then a loader looks up and says the word he dreads. An hour of steady fire has all but emptied the racks. 30 minutes of shells and no more. He calls regiment for resupply. No one answers. Out at sea, the guns change their rhythm. Less noise, more aim. Spotters are walking the shells up the bluff, straight toward him. Each impact lands nearer than the one before. Then the bunker itself is struck. The scope shatters. The world goes white, then black. He comes to on the floor. Smoke bleeds up through a fresh split in the concrete. 2 guns still answer, and barely 40 shells to feed them. The radio hisses, then falls silent for good. Whatever happens now, it happens without orders. By 8 o'clock, small parties peel off the shingle and start to climb. One strong point, then another, goes quiet. His last gun fires, and then there is nothing left to fire. By 8:45, his last positions go quiet, empty. There is no order to fall back. The roads behind are already cut. A road sign points inland. Paris, 150 kilometers. The road it was his job to keep shut. Below, the sand he was told to defend is now their road inland. Men and machines pour through the gaps without pause. The wall Hitler swore would never break has broken here, in his sector, under his eyes. At the foot of the cliff, stretcher bearers pick their way among the fallen, German and American, side by side. For Major Pluskat, the battle is over. The war will take longer to end. By nightfall, the beach called Omaha belongs to the men who crossed the sea for it. This is what the records leave us. In a single morning, on this one beach, some 2,400 American soldiers were killed, wounded, or never found. Omaha was the bloodiest of the 5 beaches, and the defense Pluskat's guns put up was the fiercest the Germans managed anywhere that day. The major himself lived. He fought on across France and surrendered in the last spring of the war. 15 years later, a writer named Cornelius Ryan came looking for the men who were there. Pluskat gave him the scene we have just watched. 1 officer, 1 telescope, 10,000 ships at dawn. It made him famous, the German who saw D-Day first. It is a perfect story, and perfect stories are worth a second look, because not everyone who was on that beach remembers it his way. Below Pluskat's cliff, other men held the sand with machine guns. One of them, Heinrich Severloh, fired until the barrels glowed. He was there. There is no doubt of that. And for the rest of his life, Severloh said the famous major was not. When orders were needed that morning, he said, Pluskat could not be found. Was the first man to see the invasion a witness or a story that grew in the telling? We opened on a man alone in the dark, waiting for a morning he could not imagine. Whatever the truth, the sea came anyway, and the wall came down. Werner Pluskat lived another 58 years. He died in 2002, the most famous witness to the longest day and the most doubted. History remembers the beaches. It forgets how many of its stories we simply chose to believe.